Today Rod and I will be planting up our planters for the front of our house. Hi, I'm Heidi and my husband Rod from Garden Crossings, and today we're planting up our aquapots. These are a self-watering planter, so basically we fill these about, Rod, every 5 to 7 days or so, and they continue to water throughout the week. We'll put a little fertilizer down the spout too, that way our plants are constantly getting fed while they're taking up the water. And the plants we're planting in this container today, these are what I like to call my new 4 planters. This year it's the new for 2025 Proven Winner Annuals. So we're excited to show you the new varieties that will be coming out in 2025. This year we're doing a trial on them so we have experience with them, so we know how they grow, their vigor, their habit, and all that good stuff, so I can talk about it and get you excited for these plants for next year. So Rod's already started off by planting one of the planters, so he's going to use that kind of as his guide as to where he's going to put the plants. But as he's planting this one, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of these new and or improved varieties and let you know all about them. So Rod's going to dig in and get his hands dirty while I'm going to do some filming. The first plant we're going to start off with is a Nemesia. This is the Nemesia Bluebird. Look at those beautiful purple blooms. So this isn't actually an improved variety. Nemesia Bluebird has been around for quite a few years, but they found that it just wasn't standing up to the new Nemesias that they've been carrying. So Nemesia Bluebird is a nice fragrant Nemesia, kind of a medium purple color flower, nice and fragrant. And what's improved about this variety is it has a much nicer, tighter, well-rounded habit. Nemesia is known for its fragrance, and the other thing is a lot of times Nemesia are known as a cold weather annual, so they thrive really in the beginning of the season or late in the season. But with this improved variety, the flower should take us into the summer, and hopefully we won't see that it starts to peter out. So that's what we're going to be doing in our trials, is to see if the Nemesia will last all summer like a lot of the new varieties in the Aromance series. We love Aromance Mulberry. We talk about that one an awful lot. So I kind of hope that this one really stands up to that Aromance series and has the fragrance as well as the longevity of blooms throughout the summer. The next plants we're going to be planting are a new series of Supertunia, the Tierra series. This is Tierra Pink. Look at those beautiful bright pink flowers with that white halo in the center there. So I've been told from some of our friends at Proven Winners that this Tierra Pink is a real aggressive plant, one that can hold up well when being planted with some of the Vistas, like Vista Bubblegum, Vista Paradise, Vista Jazzberry. So this one's got excellent vigor. So with this plant, I was told that less is more, that it really does quite a, let's say, a big job in a container, really fills it out and performs amazing. So we're going to put 2 of them in here. One thing you'll notice is that we do pack tight our containers, and that's because we just want kind of instant color, instant gratification. One thing we know because we're doing this is that a lot of these plants will get buried and or disappear by the end of the summer. But I always say to people, when you're planting your planters, they're going to have different looks at different points in the season. So don't be afraid to plant something that you love, even if you won't see it at the end of the season, because if you're loving it now, you had a little time that you were able to enjoy it. The next plant is the Tierra series. This is Tierra Blue. Blue is kind of an interchangeable word with purple in the flower world, but look at those beautiful, deep, velvet-looking purple flowers with that nice white halo. So I have been told that the purple is not quite as aggressive as the pink. So again, we'll kind of see at the end of the summer which one shows up the most in these planters. But I have been told that it is also quite aggressive, similar to the Vistas, so that it will be able to hold its own if you do choose to plant it with the Vistas. It's kind of nice to have a new series or a new look to the petunias in the Supertunia collection, just to kind of break the colors up a little bit. And I'm really enjoying some of these bicolor blooms that they've been adding in here over the past couple years. Last year, Persimmon was a beautiful bicolor. Saffron Finch is that nice yellow with kind of that lighter eye as well. So really the Petunia, the Supertunia collection has expanded to add a lot of great new varieties over the past few years. So with super petunias, I like to call them not your grandmother's petunias. These are the petunias that are the no-pick petunias. You do not need to pick at these plants to keep them looking great all summer long. So they'll just kind of do their thing as long as you're feeding them regularly and watering them regularly. The next plants we have are Angelonia. These are the Angelonia Angel Face White. They're not flowering right now, but they have a nice upright white flower. This is an improved variety of Angelonia. So the improvement of Angel Face White is it's got more vigor than the original, a lot more flowers, more stronger, sturdier, upright flowers as well. Now Rod also just brought in there 2 more Angelonias, and those are called Wedgwood Pink. So we'll try to put a picture on the screen so you can see what Wedgwood Pink looks like. It looks a lot like the Wedgwood Blue, except for in a pink variety. So a very soft pink flower with a little bit of white to it. These Angelonias are self-cleaning, so they'll continue to flower all summer without needing to be deadheaded, which I think is, especially for us busy gardeners, the less time we have to spend picking at our flowers to keep them looking good, the better off and more happier we are, because we'll be spending more time out in the gardens enjoying the flowers instead of working on them. So these Angelonias, they'll get 18 to 24, 30 inches tall, depending on where you're planting them and also depending on your growing season. So here's the one he planted earlier. And we're tucking them right up nice close to that palm because they are going to be the thriller of this combination, and it's going to kind of, ideally anyways, the flower spikes are going to kind of hide that bare stem there of the palm tree. Getting them all tucked in there nice and tight. This combination is going to be very heavily purple and pink, and that's just because that's the colors of the new varieties that we've gotten this year. Were a lot of purple and pink varieties. The next 2 varieties he's putting in are Scaevola. This is a new series. It's called Star Diva, and look at those beautiful star-shaped blooms. There's pink, and then it's deep purple. The nice thing I like about the Scaevola is they are a very drought-tolerant annual. They do well in the wind. So if you have an area that gets a lot of wind, they can hold up to that. I have a lot of people that will come into the garden center and just plant baskets of straight Scaevola because they just know how well they'll do, and if they forget to water a day or so, usually they're pretty forgiving. So we're going to put those tucked there in the middle. They're going to be kind of more of a filler in this combination. And the flower form is just, it's a lot more open than the Scaevola that we carry, or whirlwind flower is another name for them. Whirlwind Blue, that's the series of the Scaevola. Whirlwind Blue, Whirlwind Pink, etc. So those will be fun to watch and see what they do over the summer. And it'll be interesting to kind of compare them to the Scaevola we're currently carrying. Next on the list is Heliotrope, and this is called Aromagic, I believe is the series. Very, very deep, dark purple flowers, very fragrant flowers. These have a beautiful, Aromagica purple. They have a nice habit on them. So some of the other other Heliotrope, when you plant them, they kind of break open and are kind of loose feeling in the landscape. This particular series is supposed to have a more tidier habit. They flower, they kind of bury their dead with the next set of flowers, so always keeping some flowers going while they're blooming throughout the summer. And next we have another Coleus. This is part of the Mini Me series, and this is called Mini Me Chartreuse. Beautiful chartreuse green foliage. This Coleus is an upright Coleus, so we'll see how it does. I know some of the others in the Mini Me series have done a little bit of spreading, not bad, but like in a nice way. So having that splash of chartreuse here in the back of the planter, I think will be kind of a nice backdrop to all of these other beautiful colors that we are planting. These are going to be westward facing, so they're going to get sun from about noon until the end of the day. So it is important, especially if you're planting in your west or your south areas where you're getting that more intense afternoon sun, that you do make sure you keep up on watering the plants, because once those plants start to get thirsty, that's when they start looking maybe not the greatest. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, fertilizing. Fertilizing is probably, beyond watering, the single most important thing that you can do for your planters. Think about you. You want water, but you also want food. And that's true for the plant world as well. Plants want food. You feed them that plant food and they are going to be fabulous all summer long. So there we have it. This beautiful new planter, just packed full of new introductions from proven winners for 2025. We'll be sure to update you on this planter as the summer goes along so that you can see how it's doing, which plants hold their own, and which plants may get buried by the end of the summer. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi, along with Rod today from Garden Crossings.